Welcome, and thank you for using this on-demand webinar to learn more about the Association's Governance Committee and the application process to identify leaders for our organization. I am Bette Williams, AJLI Governance Committee Chair from the Junior League of Columbia, South Carolina. So that you all will know their voices, my colleagues will introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, I'm Malia Fallon, AJLI Governance Vice Chair from the Junior League of Minneapolis in Minnesota.
Hi, I'm Katie Shuck, Governance Committee at-large member from the Junior League of Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Hello everyone, I'm LaShonda Kennedy, Governance Committee at-large member from the Junior League of Cedar Rapids.
We hope this session will help you navigate the application process. We will also host a live Q&A webinar on Thursday, August 3rd to share questions and answers about the application process. Let's introduce the rest of the 2017-2018 Governance Committee. In addition to the ladies who have just introduced themselves, the committee consists of Julianne Averill, Junior League of Oakland East Bay, Katie Gerson, Junior League of Kansas City, Gwen Londrigan, Junior League of Clearwater, Dunedin, Jeff Tossig, Junior League of the City of New York, Sandy Thompson, Junior League of Orange County, California, and Susan Danish, AJLI's Executive Director.
We encourage you to have a copy of the 2017 application instructions on hand. We will be referencing this document throughout the webinar. As a reminder, to access this page, click on the Governance tab on the Member homepage, then click on Governance Opportunities in the drop-down menu, followed by 2017 Governance Committee Application, which will appear on the left-hand navigation. You should then see this page on the screen, which contains the application instructions. Even if you have previously applied for a governance position, we recommend that you reread the application information. Application information does change from year to year as we work to improve our process. The instruction package has general information, information about preparing your materials, how to submit the application via the online portal, and job descriptions. We also have samples of the League Leadership Resume and Competency Essays so you can better understand what we are seeking and the format in which it needs to be submitted. The instructions also include the Competency Library, Skills Matrix, and Position Fact Sheets.
The purpose of the AJLI Governance Committee is to determine candidates for the Association's leadership teams, the Board of Directors, and Governance Committee. Those candidates presented in a slate to the member leagues are voted upon in the spring in advance of the annual meeting held at annual conference. The Governance Committee's charge is clear: to produce a leadership team that will most effectively move forward the Association's mission, goals, and strategic plan. Through a robust application process, we match organizational needs with individuals' strengths. To break it down a little bit further, we match what the association needs to the league leader's strengths and produce a leadership team. As defined in the operational policies approved by leagues, known in our world as the OPALs, we have a specified list of qualities that have been identified as what is needed to lead the association. We are looking for depth and breadth of leadership experience as exemplified by a candidate's broad perspective, commitment to diversity and inclusion, courage to dissent, credibility among peers, flexibility, good interpersonal skills, demonstrated leadership, risk-taking with accountability, thoughtful and visionary. These criteria are translated into competencies that applicants must demonstrate through the application process. On page 11 of the application, you will see the competencies. Based on the OPALs, there are three broad categories: demonstrated leadership, personal effectiveness, and relationships. And within each of those categories, there are competencies, giving us a total of 9 competencies, each with their defining characteristics. Beginning with this year's application process, we have added a competency to specify diversity and inclusion. This reflects the association's recently updated commitment statement, which reads, "The Junior League welcomes all women who value our mission. We are committed to inclusive environments of diverse individuals, organizations, and communities." These competencies should be reviewed against your experiences and thoughtfully considered while going through the application process.
We also look at each applicant's individual strengths that are highlighted through the application, specifically in the cover letter, the resume, and in the essays, as well as in any interview that may occur later in the process. The cover letter. This is your opportunity to shine and to let us know why you want to serve, what position or positions you are interested in, and how you are qualified to serve. This is the first piece of information that the Governance Committee sees for each applicant, so make it count and put your best foot forward. The specifications and instructions for the cover letter are on page 5 of the application instructions. The cover letter should be no more than 1 page, using a font that is no smaller than 10 point. For anyone who has previously applied for an AJLI governance position, it's important to note that we do not keep applications or information from year to year. Any information on who may have applied in previous years is not shared or discussed during screening, slating, or the interview process. This cover letter is a fresh start for you to showcase yourself.
The second way you share your strengths is through the leadership resume. This resume is different from a professional resume, and the specifications are outlined on pages 8 through 6 of the instructions. A sample resume is on page 10. Use these as a guide in building your own leadership resume. Your resume can be up to 3 pages in length. Maximize these pages to share your leadership experiences in the Junior League, both your local league and any prior association level experience. Other nonprofit volunteer, civic and public service experience, employment or professional experience, education, and other relevant information. As you list your experiences, be sure to note the leadership roles you held and highlight your successes. Please do not just list positions or memberships. On this sample leadership resume, you will see where we have noted that you have the opportunity to add a description of position and highlights of success. Don't be afraid to be specific or get technical as you highlight your successes. This is your place to shine. Here are some samples to get you thinking about your own work.
I served as a team leader for the launch of a new product line. Under my leadership, revenue grew by $250,000 over the prior year.
With the new membership structure, I helped our league increase the retention rate to 75% over a 3-year period. I served on the AJLI design team as a facilitator in the first wave of rollouts prior to becoming our league's membership chair last year.
I led a league diversity and inclusion initiative. The membership class is currently at 40, and 60% of these members are diverse in race, ethnicity, religion, and socioeconomic status. One of the requirements of the application is to provide written demonstration of 2 of the 9 competencies. The first is of leadership and service ethic in your Junior League experience, and the second is of your choosing in your experiences outside of the Junior League. The essay portion of the application is your place to tell us a story within 350 words about a single leadership experience within the competency, telling us what you did, what you accomplished, and what you learned from the experience. We are looking for those experiences which demonstrate your leadership talent within the specific competency. We are not looking for your philosophical thoughts on the competency. Please make sure that the essays provide specific, clear, and concise examples of the competency and that the essays are complete, spell-checked, and reviewed for readability. Let's review some tips when considering applying for an AJLI governance position. Carefully consider your available time for governance service. We ask those slated to make the association their primary volunteer commitment. Carefully read through the application instructions. If you've applied in the past, remember that information changes and the application is updated every year. Carefully review your resume and make sure it reflects any and all new experience you have garnered since you last applied. Applicants should spend time familiarizing themselves not only on the application, but also on current association key initiatives. Prepare your cover letter, resume, and competency submissions before going online to submit. Ask someone to proofread the application prior to submission. When you are ready to go online and submit, fully complete each section in one session. You cannot go back and work on it at another time. And don't wait until the last minute. During the screening process, the Governance Committee can only consider what is included within your application packet, which are your cover letter, resume, and essays. To that end, make sure that you take every opportunity to present your best self in the format requested and only the information we request. We cannot emphasize this enough. Please read the application instructions and follow the instructions. Once you have completed your prep work, your cover letter, resume, and your 2 competency essays, then you are ready to begin submitting your application. Your application will be completed online in 4 parts as seen on the screen. Be sure to read all instructions before using the links, as you cannot go back to work on a section at a later time. And here's a special note for our Spanish-speaking members. Las instrucciones y otros materiales que acompañan la solicitud han sido traducidos al español y sirven como guía. Por favor, recuerde que debe llenar la solicitud y la entrevista telefónica en inglés.
The end result of the application process is to move candidates from application screening to the interview process, seeking the best possible slate for the current openings on the Board and Governance Committee. Let's take a look at the open board positions shown on this slide in red that the Governance Committee will be slating for election in 2018. These include Vice President to serve for a 2-year term starting in June of 2018 through 2020. Secretary to serve for a 2-year term starting in June 2018 through 2020. Governance Committee Vice Chair to serve a 1-year term starting in June 2018 through 2019, and then moving into the position of Governance Committee Chair for a 1-year term beginning June of 2019 through 2020. The Governance Committee Chair and Vice Chair serve on both the Board and the Governance Committee. And finally, 3 at-large directors to serve a 3-year term starting in June of 2018. These are the Governance Committee positions that the Junior Leagues will be electing for terms beginning June 1st, 2018 through 2020. We are looking for qualified women to fill 3 at-large member positions. And as noted previously, the Governance Vice Chair serves on both the Board and Governance Committee and must have previously served on the Association's Board or Governance/Nominating Committee.
Let's take a look at the timeline of our process. Currently, we are recruiting, conducting outreach, and providing information about the application process. The application deadline this year is August 21st. Then, in September, the Governance Committee will screen the applications. Candidates that move on after the screening process will be interviewed during the month of October, and we will also do all reference checks that month. In November, slating will take place, and then in December, the slate will be presented to the junior leagues. All junior leagues then vote on the entire slate of candidates just before annual conference. So be sure your league is voting on this each and every year. And last but not least, election results are announced at annual conference, which will take place in mid-April next year. As mentioned on the last slide, once the governance committee has concluded the screening of applications, we will notify applicants whether or not they are being invited to the next phase of the process, the interview. Notification occurs in late September and is scheduled by the AJLI staff. The interview will be conducted over the phone and will use behavior-based questions. To prepare, we encourage applicants to review their application and resume and to think of league and non-league experiences that correlate to all of the competencies, not just the two that they wrote about in the application. To help candidates prepare who are advancing to the interview stage, the Governance Committee will host an on-demand webinar. Further information and instructions about this webinar will be sent to applicants who are invited to interview.
Governance Committee is identifying talent, or IT. We are looking for applicants that demonstrate breadth and depth of experience in the junior league, community, and/or their professional work. They have the skills ready to serve at the association level on day one, not women who are ready for the next step in a league career or who are seeking to serve as a training opportunity. They have the time available to serve. For the board, there are in-person meetings, committee work, and optional league visits. For the Governance Committee, there are in-person and virtual meetings, weekly conference calls, and group commitments. There is also a financial commitment for the Board of Directors. 100% board giving is expected, and the specific amount is up to each individual board member.
While applicants will spend time preparing their application materials, it is also very helpful to review background information about the association and its transformative work. Look at AJLI's strategic plan, governance plan, and its key initiatives around community impact, membership, and league governance. We also highly recommend that applicants begin thinking about the trends in the volunteer and membership nonprofit sector and their relevance to the association and its short and long-term future.
The Governance Committee public group share page includes information specific to the application process, and joining the page allows the Governance Committee to reach out to you with reminders and helpful information. You can join the group by visiting the AJLI member website. Another resource is the Governance tab on the Members Only section of the AJLI website. There, you can access AJLI governance documents, including meeting minutes from board meetings and other information you may want to review prior to applying.
You can also access our PowerPoint presentation from the Governance Opportunity session held during annual conference. A lot of background information as well as myths regarding the application process are explored. Once the recording of that session becomes available, it will be posted on the AJLI website. And don't forget that you can also connect with AJLI staff with any questions and for technical assistance when submitting your application.
And as Beth mentioned at the beginning of this webinar, we will offer a live Q&A webinar on Thursday, August 3rd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The link to that webinar is available on the Governance page and on the Governance Group Share page.
The Governance Committee produces a leadership team that will most effectively forward the association's mission, goals, and strategic plan by verifying that our leaders have demonstrated leadership talent within the 9 competencies listed in the application instructions. The Governance Committee receives many applications from very qualified Junior League members, and attention to detail on the essays and application could be a deciding factor on whether a member moves forward for an interview or not. It is a good idea to have someone else review the essays and your application before submitting them in order to double-check your written answers and essays for completeness, readability, grammatical errors, and misspellings. And please remember, follow the instructions. And another tip, the application instructions contain a sample essay about the diversity and inclusion competency. Please make sure that you give yourself enough time to complete the application and make sure that you have all these sections complete. We encourage all applicants to start early and submit their applications in advance to troubleshoot any unforeseen technical difficulties that may occur. It is your responsibility to ensure receipt of each portion of your application by AJLI prior to the deadline. Remember, if you've got it, we want it. Please attend our upcoming Q&A webinar, review the application, and send any questions to AJLI_governance@ajli.org. Thank you so much for your interest in serving the association.